Once upon a time, over the hills and far away in Russia, on the banks of the Volga, lived a few people in a village. There was a stepmother, Macheka. She had a stepdaughter, Irina, and a daughter. Stepdaughter Irina and a daughter, Alina. Macheka loved Alina. She doted upon her. She was her dear, her fair daughter. She loved her so much that she did not let her do any work in the home. Instead, Irina did all the work. Day and night she toiled away, cleaning, cooking, spinning the yarn into thread to make clothes for the entire family. And in the village, opinions were mixed. People loved Irina. She was kind, she was gentle, and her long brown hair attracted the attention of many young men in the village. But they did not like Alina so much. They said she was haughty. They said she was full of herself. And they even dared calling her lazy. Macheka was furious at this. And one day, she made the decision that the Irina problem had to be ended once and for all. She went to her husband and told him, "Old man, go and take the sleigh and take your daughter Irina into the forest and leave her there to die." The old man protested. "She's my daughter. I cannot leave her to die." And he started crying. But he had to obey what his wife said. His wife, Macheka, was looking through the window, making sure he was doing as he was told. And so he went away, deep inside the forest, on a very, very cold winter day. And at the bottom of a tall fir tree, he left Irina there, and then went away. He just couldn't bear to see her suffering in the cold after all. Night came, and the temperatures went down. Slowly and surely, Irina became colder and colder, and she started shivering in the cold. She started praying, saying all the prayers she could so that something, a miracle, would happen. Night became ever darker. Cold wind from Siberia were howling through the night, and snow started to fall on the ground. But suddenly, there was a rustling of leaves, a sound that moved ever, ever, ever closer. Until eventually, an old man stood in front of Irina. That old man had a long white beard reaching to his belt. He was wearing very thick, beautiful green, orange and red fur. The old man was Ded Moroz, Father Frost. Came to Irina. "How are you doing, my fair child? What are you doing in my woods today?" "I'm here to repent for my sins. My stepmother doesn't like me." "Are you comfortable, my child?" "I'm fine, Father Frost. I'm fine." There was a cold wind of frost. "I'm fine, Father Frost." Father Frost looked at her, and he was charmed by the young woman. She looked so strong. She was not comfortable at all, but she was showing a brave face. And he looked inside her, and he could read into her mind. He knew what was happening back in the village. He knew that the villagers were saying that Irina was a kind and gentle girl. He knew that she had been sent in this forest to die. And so Father Frost decided to do something that he did not normally do. He decided to reward Irina, because she was one of the very few one of very few kind and gentle human beings. And using its magical powers, a very big golden box full of rich garments suddenly appeared. Irina was suddenly wrapped into a very warm shuba, which was as warm as a mother's lap. The cold had been bitten. Irina was warm anymore. And as the sun rised in the morning, it smiled at her, for she was now a princess. Back in the village, Macheka said, "Old man, go and fetch the body of your girl. We will bury her." And the family dog said afterwards to Macheka, the old woman's daughter is wicked. The old woman's daughter is wicked, but the old man's daughter is about to come back and will be a princess. How can you say such stupid things, such beast? And she started beating the dog viciously, until there was a commotion outside. The old man came back on his sleigh, and with him was Irina, wrapped in her rich fur, looking like a princess, and carrying a very heavy box of rich garments and many other beautiful things with her. Macheka was furious. She said to her man, "Go and take my daughter Alina into the forest. Leave her into the same place so that tomorrow she comes back with the same riches." Alina was left into the forest. She started shivering still. The temperatures were dying down. Ooh, the cold, dark Siberian winds were howling. And suddenly, there was a rustling of leaves. And yet Moroz, Father Frost, came back again. "What are you doing, fair maiden? What are you doing in my woods today?" "Can't you see that I'm cold?" "What are you doing in my woods? Are you comfortable? Can I help you?" "I'm cold. Please leave me alone." Yet Moroz asked for more questions, but these questions were answered by rudeness. So he looked into Alina's eyes. He saw her story. He saw what the villagers were saying about her back in the village, that she was lazy, that she was haughty, that she was a wicked daughter, just like her stepmother, just like her mother. And so he left her there. And slowly and surely, the cold started gripping Alina until her heart stopped beating. The next day, the family dog said, the old woman's daughter is dead. The old man's daughter's gonna marry a man soon. How dare you say such thing? Tell her my daughter will come back and work like a princess." And the old man came to the house, carrying the body of his stepdaughter Alina, frozen to death. The stepmother Macheka started crying. She went completely mad and completely crazy. "My dear daughter is dead. Why has this happened?" But she understood, after kissing her dead daughter's lips, what had happened. She understood that her own wickedness, her own meanness had killed the person she loved the most. Shortly afterwards, Irina married an army officer and moved to Moscow to live like the princess she now was. Because as a saying says, treat others as you would like to be treated yourself.